Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about deals where we lost money. Wow. How can we make that interesting?
Yikes. I did not realize that's what we're talking about until I'm sitting here right now reading that. So.
I have to say, there are not too many. But, man, when we do it, we do it.
Man, if you're going to do it at what's your say? If you're going to make a mistake, do it at 100 miles an hour.
Exactly right.
So,
before we get into the topic, though, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the Land Investors online community. It's free.
Neil asks, "Hi, everyone. I received a purchase agreement in the mail yesterday that was dutifully signed and filled out, but the offer price was crossed out and essentially doubled. It went from $2,250 to $5,000. At what point do you still reach out to the potential seller to discuss this?"
This happens to us, by the way, all the time. You know, it's better than getting nothing at all, I think. Anyway, go ahead.
"I have no intention of offering more, but it's worth establishing a relationship since it seems he's interested in getting rid of it?
Yeah.
The $5,000 is what he paid for the land years ago. Similar parcels have sold for $6,000 and up, but after sitting around for hundreds of days.
Yeah.
I personally would price the property at $4,500 to sell quickly. Have others had success reaching out in these instances? Thanks."
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. We've had this, and it's comical, and it's kind of ties in a little bit with our question from yesterday about what do I do when I have to call him back and change the offer price. So this guy changed his. I understand where the guy's coming from.
Me too.
He thinks it's still worth what he paid for it, and we all think I say this often around the house and around the office. We all think our asset is priceless, but you know what? It's not.
Okay, so I wasn't 5 years old and decided to do a mailer. I came up with this mailer concept in the late 90s, early 2000s, because it was solving a huge problem for me. Number one, I don't have to go to auctions anymore. I don't have to go to tax auctions any longer. Number two, I don't have to make cold calls. Number three, I don't drive for dollars. I mean, all of those things I've done, and they all suck. All of them. Sending letters out was my way of saying, it solved like 6 problems for me. It solved negotiation. So I send a letter off, take it or leave it. This is the price. I'm making you an offer. It solved scalability for us. So I can send out 25 million offers literally as easily as I can send out 500.
Right.
Or as easily as 5. It's just data.
You can't canvass neighborhoods that fast. It's impossible.
So one of the things that this person, the caller, the seller is doing is bucking that system. So if you're sending enough mail out and you're getting letters in every day like us, it's not worth the phone call. I personally think that you should call them back because I don't think it's that far off.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's not what this is designed for. It was designed to remove negotiation and all kinds of other things out of there.
Right.
It's very efficient because you send out 10,000 offers, 50, 100 people call you back, and about 20 or 30 send a letter back. Which deals are you going to do? Right. You're going to do the ones first where it's just signed and you check it and you agree and that's it.
Couple things to point out though. So this is kind of like what I was started to say about the call yesterday. Now you're going to call the guy back and go, "I know you think it's worth $5,000 and I know that you spent $5,000 on it, but you know what? The things that I'm sure we're hoping to happen in that neighborhood, it didn't happen."
Yeah.
Nowadays, sadly, people do understand that in times real estate can go down. Yeah. We all remember what happened almost 10 years ago.
That's about what we're about to explain the horror that we went through during that downturn.
Okay, cool. All right. So people understand when things go down. I realized, Mr. Smith, when you bought it, they were going to put in a beautiful big mall across the street, and would have been perfect parking lot property or something. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I can do something with it. So, I apologize. It's like I've even said, I really don't mean to insult you, but this is really what it's worth right now and what it's worth to me. And, if you want to get something out of it, gosh, I'm here to do that. And because this happens a lot.
All the time.
This really comes up a lot. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but
20
it's
or
a
30%.
pretty high percentage that people that when we're buying property from, we're buying it for less than they paid. And they know that, but you know what? That's just the way it happens.
80% of the time, yeah.
And they're happy to get something out of it than nothing out of it.
So let me add this, and this is very important. This is not trivial. You are not here to be a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
We have a woman in our group who is constantly expressing that she feels bad.
Aw.
So I understand that. But we're not here to take advantage of people. But the flip side is we're not here to lose money and
That's true. Save
if
everyone.
If you want to be a good Samaritan, there's a ton of things you can do after 6 p.m. all over the place to help people financially, and there's a million things to do. But this is not the place for that. If you have learned well from the Land Academy or wherever else about how to price property, and you send a mail out at $22.50, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe $3,000.
Well,
you can help the guy out. Because Jill's whole thing is this. My price is $22.50, or I'll be a nice guy and say $3,000 if you want to do the deal today. Otherwise, in 6 months, just like everybody else, I want you to call me back when you still own the property, because it just didn't, because they forget they have a life, Part of what we offer is a huge convenience service.
Right.
We're sending you a cashier's check and somebody to your door with a contract. They're going to hand you money, and you're going to give us something that you never wanted in the first place anyway.
That's a great point.
So
explain the service, explain how it goes, explain what you're providing, and then leave the ball in their court. So and then open the next letter.
In the first Land Academy program, I call it the gallon of milk theory. There are 3 places you can buy a gallon of milk. You can buy it at Walmart, crazy cheap. You can buy it at the grocery store, a little bit more expensive, or you can pay through the nose at the 7-Eleven down the street.
Right.
Every single time, you're not saying, well, this is not, you don't walk into a 7-Eleven and say, how can you charge $5 for a gallon of milk? No, you know that part of it's convenience, and you don't have to go to the end of the back of the Walmart to do the whole thing. Yeah, absolutely. So it's the same thing with this. It's true. Huge convenience component to what we do.
Yep.
That said, we don't want to take advantage of people.
Thank you.
Today's topic, Jill and I talk about deals where we lost money. This is the meat of the show.
This is not the most fun topic.
But it's
a real topic, and we want to share it.
We are real people, and we make mistakes.
Totally.
And I'll tell you the number one place where Jill and I have lost money in a real estate deal is renovating houses. We didn't lose a lot, but when you factor in time and all the stuff that's involved, Jill and I have done a handful of house renovations, and it was a joke.
And you know what? For other people, it's their thing, and I get it. And they have 3 crews, and they're good at it, and I wish them well.
Yep.
And I'm really glad about that. So I'm happy how we recovered too. Is we're happy. We find the deals, flip them to them. They go off and do the renovations, and make even more money. Everybody wins.
Everybody
wins. That's my favorite. I don't want to do that anymore. It was fun. You had a panic attack every time you had to write a check. I remember that.
Yeah. That's not my thing.
I know.
You know why? There's so much unknown. It's tomorrow's show is called How to Remove the Risk Out of Real Estate Deals. You want to talk about incurring risk in a real estate deal?
Yeah.
You're buying a piece of property, probably all wrong. You're buying it from a real estate agent in the MLS. And then you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you get an inspection, maybe you don't.
Right.
Hopefully you get an inspection, but you get in there, you don't know what's going to happen. And then when you're all done, you end up with for sale property.
Right.
Who wants for sale property? Nobody. That's the most risky thing on the planet. You want to know every step of the way exactly what's going to happen in that real estate deal and when you're going to get your money. And that's what Land Academy is all about. And we don't do any deals, not one single deal, where we know what's going to happen.
Right. We
let the data create a crystal ball for us, so we can see right in the crystal ball when the property's going to sell, days on market. There's 10 or 15. I talk about it. I'm filming House Academy right now, and I go through every step of the way to completely reduce all the risk in the whole thing. We have a friend right now who's trying to sell property, a house that she has long since not lived in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because we're nice, I did a whole workup, just like if we were going to buy it. I did a whole complete workup on it, and there's no way we would buy this thing. But I looked at days on market and everything that we look at, and the days on market and the zip code she's in this, it's not in Las Vegas proper, but it's close to it. It's like 59 days. We don't get involved in markets with houses that are less than, it has to be less than 30.
30, right, yeah.
It should be closer to 15.
Mm-hmm.
In Seattle right now, the days on market is like 5.
Right.
So
it's Amazon,
what do
isn't it?
What do you think as an investor?
Mm-hmm.
You think about this for a second. As an investor,
Okay.
you send letters out into an environment, let's say it's info lots or houses,
Okay.
and the days on market are 20.
Okay.
And you know that you're pricing it at least 20% below what you can wholesale the property for. This is what
I love it.
When I say wholesale, I mean never go to see the thing.
Right.
You're just looking at square footage. It may even be potentially a tear down.
Right.
It's that bad, but you still know you're going to make money.
Right.
You're removing all the risk from the thing.
Exactly.
So
Was there a question there?
no, I just think that.
I'm like, I'm following along
My
like,
point is this: if you if you lose money in a real estate transaction, it's because you got overzealous about doing a deal, or you're a good Samaritan, or you didn't slow down and really look at the facts.
you know what you just did to me?
Uh-uh.
You just did me like, okay, Bob gets on the school bus. Carol gets on after him. Bob gets off. Jack's still on the school bus. You just did one of those, and I'm like, so I'm following along. I'm like almost taking notes, and then you said, I'm like, well, so where's the question? You're like, oh, there is none. I'm like,
It was a statement.
I was really in.
Oh, you wanted
no,
a
it's
question.
okay. I'm like,
I
okay,
have to think of a question.
Think of this situation. How would you handle it?
Remember we used to do Would You Do This Deal? And everybody loved it.
We still do that. We
yeah,
do that.
We
should do that.
Thing.
Oh, that would be fun to do live.
Would you do this deal?
Oh, what if we had? Okay, I'm not adding more. Hey,
That's a good show. I'm gonna
Watch
write
Jill
this down.
add more work to our list of things to do right now.
I gotta write this down.
Would that not be cool? What if we did a weekly or a monthly show for like an hour and did it live, like a Facebook Live or YouTube Live, and people could submit them ahead of time?
Yeah.
And so we could have time. We'd have to that
Would you do
way.
this deal?
Would you do this deal? Oh, that would be so cool. Look, to do. Look on my little land investors notepad.
Yeah, you have to submit the deal ahead of time. That's
So
the
we
way
can
to
kind
go.
of look at it, and we'll pick, and we could even let them know, hey, just like a real TV show, like we're gonna, the 5 people that we're gonna review your deals, let them know ahead of time, make sure they're gonna be available, so they can even chime in and go, yeah, oh great, this is my follow-up question. So, how cool would that?
We could test that on a Thursday call. We could do it today. Today's Thursday.
That would be. It often ends up happening.
I would watch that.
I would too. We
could even review our own deals and say, "Would you do this deal?"
That's a great one. Oh, I like this. Okay, that's a whole nother thing. So, deals where we lost money. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, the number one, we got Jill and I. We never borrow any money ever, so that's the good news. So if we lose money, it's our own money. But we lost some dough on some land that we had accumulated when the market downturned.
Yeah.
And so we chose to sell it for a loss.
Yeah.
But it was probably 10, maybe 15 properties.
It's not a big deal.
So
it was just to get some, cash for other stuff.
sometimes we sell property $1 no reserve on eBay just for the marketing.
It's true.
To drive people back to our Land Stay website and Land Academy and the whole thing. And once in a great while, it'll sell for a couple $100 less than we paid, which is no big deal at all. It's advertising expense.
That's what I think. I actually, I actually get excited for the person. I'm like, you know what? I know you're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
I can afford it. So I just look at it like, hey, I'm paying it forward to that guy. We've done this. Well, we've had some too, by the way, where we didn't really lose money, but we gave away property, it's for different Land Academy promotions. Actually, we're about to give away some property at our live event coming up in September and October. We have a lot that we're giving away. And I look at it like, you know what? Have it. Could I go through and sell it and all that good stuff and make some money? Yeah, but I've got enough. Seriously.
Enough money?
Well, no,
Or
property.
enough deals. Yeah, we have enough deal flow.
I know I've got enough.
This is beyond the scope of this conversation.
That's
with the
funny.
exception of once,
Yeah.
I've lost money on every single primary residence deal I've done. And it's not, and I don't mean, hey, I bought that property for $120,000, and then 14 years later I sold it for 180. Oh, I made money on that deal. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
When you look at the interest expense and the maintenance expense and all the stuff that went on,
Exactly.
almost no one, unless you're in California and you buy and sell constantly and quickly,
Right.
almost nobody makes money on a primary residence deal. You look at real estate
Yeah.
taxes and all of that.
It's true.
I wrote a whole technical paper on why you shouldn't have a mortgage.
Yep.
And as you can imagine, got a lot of...
Response. We'll call it
it
response.
generates... People get so... Well,
I know.
the first thing they say
What
is,
do you
well,
mean?
all the taxes...
You should get a mortgage. You should be...
You missed out on all the tax...
Exactly.
Let me tell you something about mortgage tax. It's like 10 cents a year.
Yep.
It's not going to offset... Never mind. I'll talk about it later.
Family members that thought that, and they were trying to give me a speech like, even if you can afford to pay cash for your house, you shouldn't,
Right.
because you need to write off that, interest and all that good stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute,
That's the worst advice ever.
how does that work? I don't like.
Plus, mentally, here's the thing for me.
Yeah,
Mentally, it's just like, I'm tied down to this thing.
yeah,
What
Like
do
a
you mean I owe
marriage.
$4 million now, and I have to pay it out in the next 30 years? No, I just want to pay as I go.
Did you miss my comment?
Yeah, marriage, the tied down.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was
it's the
waiting.
same thing.
I was waiting for you to throw that in there. I threw it in there for you because I knew it was coming. Trying to beat you to it.
Well, you've done it again. You spent another 15 or 20 minutes listening to the Land Academy show. Join us next time where we discuss, as I said before, eliminating risk from real estate deals.
And we answer your questions posted on our free online community. Go there. It's landinvestors.com.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
You're funny.
We covered that.
You're funny.
Whew.
I think that was good.
Me too.
It's stuff. This is one of the things that I love about not just who we are, but now our community too, and all the people in our world. We are also transparent, like to a fault,
Yeah.
And
I wonder about that sometimes.
I know, probably
I
it's a
wonder if
little
it's too much.
No, I don't. Well, you know what? So what? I love your thing. Everybody wants the truth. So, and that's
Yeah.
your saying, not mine. I'm giving you credit for that. And so, you know what? We're real good about telling the truth. So much so that, if this is not a good fit for people, oh man, we'll tell them. I don't think this is going to work out.
Yeah.
Please go save your money and go do this with it or something. But
And it's not people. It doesn't work, and it's never real estate. It's all lack
Other
of organization or too much stuff in your life,
don't know
or
Excel.
other things that you bring to before all kinds of issues that people have long
true.
before they get to us. You
That's
don't know Excel.
very true.
You don't know Excel.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
Well, or they've never completed anything they started. I hate to say
Yeah.
that, but there's a lot of people out there, and so why do you think that this is going to be different? It's not.
Land Academy and all the tools and companies that we have is not the place to learn to see if you know about technical data. If you're already an engineer or an accountant, or if you were at the top of a company somewhere and you're frustrated with the politics, but you're not afraid of crunching some serious data and placing money and taking a very minimal amount of risk, this is a place for you. But if you're brand new and you're looking for a hobby and you're not sure that if analyzing data in a specific zip code or a census tract market, you don't really know about those things or don't care, you just want to buy a property and put some new wallpaper up and start an HGTV show. Oh, look at who's ranting now. This is not for you. This is we're technical people here. And Jill, we think, Jill's all inspirational and stuff. Let me tell you something. She's one of the most analytical, data-driven, engineering, left-brain people I've ever met. And I say that as a huge compliment. All wrapped up in with pretty bows and stuff.
Oh, thank you. Share the fun by subscribing on iTunes or wherever you are listening. And while you're at it, please rate us there.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.